Hello. All right. So it's been another long little bit since I've recorded a video. 2, 3 months, maybe more, maybe less. I think it's been a little more than that. I have been really trying to fix several of my audio issues. I, dog, this sucks. It really sucks. I I have done everything you can conceivably imagine. I have used ChatGPT to try and figure this stuff out. I have I've replaced the sock microphone. For context, you should watch one of my other videos. I'll give you context anyway because I'm a funny guy. So, okay, here's the story. I used to keep my microphone on my desk, just like as close to me as possible, and I put a sock around it to serve as a windbreak. Now I have one. I have one now. I don't know if it's doing any good because I can't tell. But here's the other kicker. My audio does not go to the same spot anymore. I was thinking about like why the old audio in my older videos that had commentary in them were better than my newer content, which those videos aren't online anymore. I've taken them off. They're unlisted, so don't try and look for them. But the answer is because I would record the game through OBS, obviously, and I would record my audio on Logic Pro. Well, I don't have Logic on my new computer because it's a Windows computer, and you can't have Logic on a Windows computer. So what I'm doing instead is I'm using Audacity, which I hate Audacity. So we're going to see if this works out at all. But I did some research. Audacity does have a pretty good audio cleanup system. And I can take it, I can throw it into Logic. I can take that file, I can throw it into Logic Pro if I want and do some EQ stuff and really make this sound professional and good. Kind of like I care. But as for like the screen, if you watch any of my other content, especially from like what I'm gonna say 5 months ago, Minecraft was in like this weird window. I can't get on this. Okay, it's like in this weird window, right? That was like just a little smaller than the aspect ratio. So I had a background image to kind of like fill in that blank space. Yeah. Instead, I just stretched to fit the aspect ratio. So sorry if I appear wide or anything, but yeah. Hopefully, it's a little bit better than it was. Now, part 2 of the explanation. This is not Lorecraft. Ooh. Fancy. But the premise remains the same. I'm building an empire. Because that is how I like to play Minecraft. So anyway, my latest... Okay, no, hang on. Before I get any further into the game, you will hear my fan in the background. Dude, I cannot, no matter what I try, no matter what I try, I cannot fix the freaking fan. It goes, okay? That's why I looked up if there is any way I can do like that's what I've done so much research on, is trying to fix the screaming fan in the background. But I think the only fix is to get a desktop computer where I can keep the tower under my desk and away from my microphone. And I'm not doing that. But I have gotten a microphone stand. It now has a proper wind guard. I've tried to fix OBS. I've tried to fix my actual audio with Audacity. Yeah. Now all that's left to do is to get a good-looking intro still, and fix my commentary. I'm a terrible commentator. I get locked into the game, and if I'm not locked into the game, I'm locked into my ADHD train of thought, and that's just how it be sometimes. But anyway, getting into the game now. That is a extremely long introduction explanation that will probably lose me views. Let's go. So this game, it's the exact same concept as Lorecraft, except I was kind of playing around with a new way to play it. I play it like Age of Empires, right? I won't get into that because that's kind of what this episode is about. I will be doing all of this. I'll start it at another location. But anyway, I had finished this village, or at least finished it for the time being, and decided to move over to that jungle to begin operations on building an outpost over there. Instead, because I'm bored of that project, I will be going over here and reclaiming an old game. So that's another thing. This seed is pre 1.12. I think that's when the ocean update was, which means we have very limited access to anything that came after the ocean update. Except for the nether. The nether chunks weren't loaded in that much. With that said, I took this old game file, duplicated it, and destroyed all of the buildings that were originally on it to make it like world building, Fallen Kingdom, ooh. That's where we're going. We're going back to a city called Port Hill, and because it was called Port Hill, I called it Port Hill Zone because I'm a Sonic fan and I was cringe back in high school. So we're going back and reclaiming Port Hill Zone. It's going to be a whole military operation. Let's do it. We're going to need the raw chicken. No, we're not. We do not need the raw chicken. That said, I do have this guy. How about he sorts it? So most of our supplies are actually in other base, so I will see you guys over there. Okay, here we are. Yeah, nothing special. Just using a jungle temple as my base of operations. I'm just gonna grab our stuff. Or what little stuff is left to grab. Which is not much. It's this stuff. And now, instead of just skipping, I'm gonna do a time lapse. Ooh. There's a bird in my boat and I can't use it now. Does this okay, it doesn't have stuff in it. This is a very interesting problem to have. Alright, now I'm gonna do a time lapse. Woo!
So here's the funny thing about my time lapse. I have not muted my audio because I wanted to see what that sounded like when I sped it up. Okay? It's intentional. Alright? I'm gonna sound like Alvin in the Chipmunks when I speed this up. It's going to be funny. I think, I hope. I might just be obnoxious. We'll see.
Time lapse done. It's over. The time lapse is over. The time lapse has been canceled, actually, and it's getting nighttime. We should probably begin the conquest actually right now because that actually kind of fits with how I like to play this game. I don't have a horse? I guess you count. I was just hoping you had armor. I had a friend once upon a time ask me if I built enough. He saw a garden of mine, and he said, "Do you have enough carrots?" And I said, "No. One can never have too many carrots when it's your only source of income with the villagers." All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a little role play. All right. All these mobs are spawning. They're the enemy. We're fighting. We're fighting in a war. Yeah. Yeah. Get out of here. Yeah. You want some? You want some? You want some? Oh crap! Oh shoot! That's the first time I've seen that. Oh no! That guy wrecked me, and I'm gonna die. Holy crap! I have not seen an enemy cavalry unit before. That's cool. And he shredded me. Hang on, these guys are perfectly lined up for a cavalry charge. Yeah, that was kick-ass. That was awesome. You hit my horse, I kill you. That's just how it works. Zombie horse. That might be cool. Okay. Alright, we're making good ground. You could title this episode, "Watch Me Get Good at Using a Spear." I need to get out of here before my only horse dies. Okay, you just killed my other horse. Also, did it seem to anyone else like that zombie horseman was slow? When I got dismounted, he kind of just followed behind me at a leisurely pace. It was kind of weird. All right, let's see if we can get this zombie horse. Oh, dang, he kind of quick with it. Oh no, he kind of quick with it. We might be failing our military operation right here. That was like a boss fight, bro. Guys, support units and everything. There we go. Holy crap, that was like a whole boss fight. I just said that. Actually, you know, I said we're making good ground. The truth of the matter is, they're really holding us. Okay, now we're pushing. Now we're pushing. We push up to this tower. Fire! Kill them all! Woohoo! Yippee! Things that are not said in a medieval war. Yippee! Okay. I'm just taking those shots. I don't really care. Can I not ride? Oh. You have to tame them? It's not like a skeleton horse? Huh. Dun da da da. Bonk. I wonder if this zombie horse is gonna burn in the daylight. I guarantee you it will, because it's a zombie, right? But I don't know, the skeleton horses don't. And does it change if I tame them? And we have captured the first objective. Okay, that answers that question. No, my zombie horse, it burned to death. Can you see it over there? Yeah, okay, those are the ruins of our objective. There's the pier, there's an old farmhouse. That's Port Hill Zone. We have taken one objective. I'm not going to do that again. We're just going to march right on in, because, you know, why not? Okay, here we are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably just clean everything up and put down a new base. When I said that I destroyed it all, I did so very tactfully, and I also strew about a bunch. Is that strewn? Strew? I don't know the present tense or past tense of. Anyway, it's not important. I put a bunch of old relics and resources on the ground, kind of like, oh, it was an old fight. Oh, this is a newer old base of mine, so I'm just gonna claim it for Spain. Do I not? Okay, I do have a chest. I was gonna say, do I not have a chest in here? Okay. I should probably keep my sword, considering it is still pretty dangerous over here. And yeah, let's lock in. I'm only dealing with the trees right now, and then I will probably deal with the rest of the ruins. I will probably just time-lapse this part. I really wish Bedrock had whatever that mod is for Fabric, where you can have like a third-person camera or whatever. That would be really cool, but I don't think there's a feature of that in Bedrock. So anyway, time-lapse. Alright, so that is actually quite a bit of that done, which is kind of crazy because it took me months to build that when I had initially built it like 10 years ago. I guess that's what happens though when you've already burnt half of it down. Sun is going down. That means we've got enemies incoming, so we are going to have to prepare for a counterattack, which won't be terribly hard. Just grab my spear and get out there. Yeah, king. I do have a bed. Good. I can set my spawn. Defending the keep now. Getting comboed by a spider. The enemy's initial advance has been thwarted. Preparing for a second wave. Oh. I see you. Forgot about the Nautilus too. There might be a Nautilus around here. I don't know, do they spawn in cold biomes? I actually don't know about that. I've hardly played with this new update at all. Get off the ice, bro. You ain't him either. Get out of here. Imagine that was a Nautilus. I'd be like, okay, well that answers that question. I'm actually looking for one. I'd like to use one. It'd be kind of cool. Wait. Oh, nope. I got baited by a squid. Cool. Oh, there's a trident here. I actually forgot about that. Be a good ranged weapon. Well, see, this is what I mean about commentary, though. I'm not the best commentator because I'm just mumbling. Ba, ba, ba. I should have been prepared for that. Dang it. Oh, crap. It's a jockey. That's an old meme. Defend the keep. Defend it. Defend it. Defend it. None shall pass. None shall stay here. Get hit by a trident, idiot. I lost the trident, idiot. Did I actually? Or is it? Yeah, I did. Oh, there it is. Creeper. Oh man. Guy got destroyed. Dang. Copper armor. It's an orange man. I had a nickel for every time there was an orange man. I'd have 2 nickels. It's just not a lot, but it's weird that it's happened twice. Poke you with the stick. I poke you too. Get out of here. I jab at you. I have too much fun. I like the spear. It's a good weapon. Like I said, I've not used it before, so I wouldn't know. The enemy approaches. Die! No conquest for you! Get comboed, idiot. Dude was holding the bow in a very weird way. Did anybody else notice that? Or am I just tripping? Haha, I go through a house. It's all about evading over here. I say as I take 5 hits from a zombie. I'm a master at evasion. Oh, it's a zombie villager. Oh, it's 2 zombie villagers. Hang on. Wait. No, I don't want to kill them. I also don't want them to despawn. Do I have name tags? Better question, can I craft name tags now? I know that's kind of a weird question, but I don't remember if they added that or not. I kind of intentionally avoided the last update. Where'd the other guy go? Don't see him. Nope, can't. Bump, sorry. I totally just knocked my microphone. Yeah. Can't do anything with him because I don't have a name tag. He'll despawn if I try and go home and get one. Surprised I didn't see any Endermen. Dude, I like the spear. I like being able to... This combo's crazy. That's a cool combo. Da-da-da-da. Time to die. I kill your butt. I murder you. Ha ha ha. Can you murder what's already dead? I don't know, is this... I'm 14 and I'm deep? Like, wait, I'm 14 and this is deep. Like, can you murder what's already dead? Come here. Yeah. I was really hoping that'd kill him. And the rooster crows on the dawn of the 3rd day. We have survived yet another night in the battlefield. I should probably keep that carrot, actually. Alright, back to work. Back again. And you know what that means. Another time-lapse time. Woohoo! I forgot I put a heavy core here. Why'd you put a heavy core here? Because somebody was using a mace. Like, I don't know. What do you want from me? What, do you want a lore explanation for every little thing that happens? Gosh. What? It's almost like an author should have a reason for every word they put in a page. Which... is actually true. What, do you expect me to actually be a good writer? Good grief. What's next? Do you expect me to be a good builder? Gosh, needy. Oh, and I assume you're gonna also want me to be a good Minecraft YouTuber too. Golly, you guys are... Who can keep up with all these demands? Good. It's impossible. I don't know what I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just being stupid. All right, Maurice, I have a plan. Yes, I thought that would be a very good re-intro. So this is the original house that was built in this city back in 2017. I am going to rebuild it. That's why I left it there. Probably, yeah, I'll rebuild it using all the resources. Why not? I'll also leave the well here. This is one of the original farms. I'll leave that here as well. You know, it's all about keeping some of its visual identity. You know what? That's actually not a bad idea. I'm gonna re-download the original seed. I want to show you guys what this used to look like. And here we are. This is the original world. Actually, it's okay. There's a funny story about that, but I'll get into that later. This is what that village used to look like. You know, it had a big house here, which was so flammable. It was awesome to watch it burn. Sorry, that's really morbid, but it was pretty impressive. This is the original house. Furnace room right here. This was my storage area. And then there was the mill, which, I mean, I guess that was kind of self-explanatory. You could see the stuff. This is where I have my base set up. You know, there's nothing in here because everything that was added is part of a mod. That was the tower. But yeah, this is the tower. This is what we camped out in at the beginning of the episode. You know, the door was in here. You could go up. There's nothing in here. I would show you more about this world, but I mean, that's kind of It's kind of the point of the series, you know. It's kind of yeah. Now we're back. You can see just how much was like changed. You know, that big house isn't here. The storage room isn't here anymore. The tower doesn't have a top anymore. Also, that is new. I built that just kind of as more world building. But yeah, anyway, that doesn't really matter. I'm gonna get to building this, and yeah, I guess that would be another time lapse, maybe. I'm just gonna sleep for the night. I don't want to do that again. Alright, so that is as much as I'm willing to do today. Woohoo! We did a pretty good job, I'd say. Quite a lot. Yeah, we fought 2 battles to secure some random plot of land that doesn't mean much. Build a house, cleared out all the other stuff. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty good. So assuming I do a second episode, I'll probably keep building this area. We have a starting fort, which I guess you would just say this is, I mean, it's a poor excuse for a fortress, but it has our armory in it, so whatever. We've got a starter house, so that's nice. We need storage, so a warehouse would be important, but not as important as food. So we've got start of little bit of a farm down here, but we can definitely do with more. So we'll do that. We will also probably transfer more weapons and tools from the original base over to here, and then once I have a farm and a storage system, the second most important thing to have would be security. So I'll need a fort, which I'll probably put on this hill or somewhere. After we have a fort and after we have a warehouse, you know, get a mine, which we might want to build the mine first, actually, now that I think about it. And then after that, we can start work on villagers. But yeah, thank you all for watching. That's whatever this series is called. Yes, sir. Bye.